And that is a foul. Boy, he just throws his body all over the floor.
Well, Rondo's got the whole team in foul trouble. I mean, he gets a foul on Miller there. He's gotten 3 on Kirk Heinrich. He's gotten 2 on Derrick Rose. I mean, he's just running the ball down the Bulls' throat. And Kevin, at some point in time, you got to go up and meet the ball. The problem is it's the big guys who are back, and they're backpedaling because of that speed. And you teach a guy, you keep your dribble until somebody stops you. And Rondo is doing a wonderful job of that here in this. He set the whole pace of this game.
Miller picks up his first foul. You know, Doc Rivers, Doug, was a point guard, an all-star point guard in this league. Under Mike Fratello, Larry Brown, Pat Riley. 3 good defensive coaches. You don't think he savors the chance to work with a young guy like Rondo and form him the way he himself played?
Well, also, too, they were very similar. The Doc didn't shoot very well. And so used to go under all those picks on Doc Rivers. And so he's trying to teach Rondo, if teams are going to go under those picks, then it becomes a speed game. And there's nobody who can match your speed. You turn it and get in the lane. And that's what you've seen here in this first game and then in the first quarter here tonight.
Tyrese Thomas has come in for Noah. Shot clock at 10. Marbury continues in there. Mikey Moore is also checked in for the Boston Celtics. And that is a quick whistle with 10 on the shot clock and 52 seconds to play in the first. And the foul goes on Mikey Moore, who only played a handful of minutes in game 1. And Brad Miller will find himself at the free throw line for the Chicago Bulls, who gives him so much passing, the experience, and certainly bulk.
And a good fit next to either Joakim Noah or Tyrese Thomas. Both those guys very emotional, high energy guys. And Brad Miller, sort of a slow moving guy now, passes very well, can make the open shot. He's an excellent free throw shooter, shoots about 85%. So Vinny Del Negro likes him on the floor late in games for his passing. He can make shots, his experience, and he's a great free throw shooter.
Mikey Moore had come in for Davis. So look at first-year head coach Vinny Del Negro. Marbury facing the pressure of Lindsey Lee Hunter. Marbury into Hunter. Rejected by Thomas with another block shot. The Bulls have been playing tennis out there. Shot clock at 14. Thomas already has dug 3 block shots, and that's the game story right there in the block shot category.
The problem is, off 4 of those blocks, the Celtics have 8 points. They've got to come up with those loose balls.
Pierce for 3 over Salmons. Rebounded off the hands of Rondo, picked up by Hunter. Down court, Salmons galloping for 2 with Pierce trailing. With no fouls to give either way and down by 12 points earlier. Chicago has worked their way back in now to cut that deficit in half.
Hey, you get a stop, you're down, no more than 6, maybe 4 or even 3. The Bulls would have to feel very good about that. Boston's played a very energetic first quarter, and the Bulls, with all their fouls, are still hanging around.
Rondo with 9. Curls in. Rotating. Salmons watches Pierce. Shot clock at 1. Good steal right there. Hunter got it. Here comes Thomas the other way. Marbury is back. Savvy play by the Bulls that could have cashed in. Moore defending Salmons on the 3 at the buzzer. But Chicago worked their way back in the game.
To the spot and get on the glass so we can run a little bit. I like the way we fought back there, but gave up way too many points.
With Derrick with 2 fouls and Kirk with 3 fouls, how does that limit their effectiveness and aggressiveness defensively?
Well, it hurts, no question, but we got Lindsey, did a good job there at the end of the quarter for us, and guys just got to fight through it.
Thanks.
All right, buddy.
That was moments ago. Here is Stephon Marbury for 3. The close by Hunter, picked up by Thomas. Out there with Rhodes, Salmons, Miller. And Thomas who had that ball. And here comes Rose, picked up by Marbury with Pierce and Poe. Mikey Moore and Eddie House in the game for the first time for the defending champs. The quick trap Rose into Miller. Moore was trapping, so that means that Miller was free. The rebound by Thomas inside, and a quick whistle blown on the Boston Celtics with 11:19 to play in the first half. And the foul goes on Mikey Moore for the second time.
Kevin, I'll show you a little bit about this play about protecting the backcourt. Look where Rajon Rondo is. He's out of bounds, a set play. This is Stephon Marbury. The shot goes up in the corner. What you teach the guy to do is run at it and then run out. Marbury has got to get back. He's got to protect in the backcourt. And you see the easy layup. They're going to need Stephon Marbury. He only played in that first game about 10 minutes. He had 3 assists. He was 0 for 2 from the floor. Doc Rivers basically told him after the game, I should have played you more. They're going to need him. They're going to have to play him out there with Rondo. They need an aggressive Stephon Marbury, and he's got to give them some good minutes on both ends of the floor.
Good sign for Chicago. Miller has come in the game, 1 of 1 from the field, but 6 of 6 from the line, 8 points in 8 minutes. Chicago on a 6-0 run. As we're just in the early stage of the second quarter, the Celtics began the game 18-6 over the Bulls. They've not trailed. Pierce working into Rose. Rebounded by Miller. Outlet caught by Rose. Miller comes up with his second rebound. Rose has taken one shot. Salmon's on the mismatch now against the smaller House. Doubled by Moore. Shot clock at 9. Pierce on Rose. This is a switch because we've seen other guys like on that defense of Rose, namely Rondo, who is now on the bench. Here comes Marbury. Screen from Poe. House. Uncovered Marbury. Into Poe. And picked up by Miller.
And Marbury passed up an open shot. That's the shot he's got to take. I think he's working so hard to be a part of this team. He's being too unselfish. He has got to shoot that ball.
And a foul called on Stephon Marbury, trying to guard Hunter. That's the first on Stephon Marbury. Yeah, you bring up an interesting point on Steph.
Well, what should happen? I mean, that's a 15-foot shot, and you throw that to have a guy shoot the ball over a big defender. I mean, Marbury's got to take that shot, and the team wants him to take that shot. You know, it reminds me sometimes, Kevin, you go play in an all-star game, and you become so worried about maybe shooting too much, you pass up shots that are there that you would normally take to give to somebody else. And they want Marbury to be aggressive. And you see his minutes. Doc Rivers wants to play him more tonight. But he has got to be a factor on both ends of the floor for this team.
Poe is out and headed to the locker room. Perkins has come back in the game. He is defending Miller on top. Salmon's over Pierce. With 8 on the shot clock. The missed 3. The rebound by Rose. His first rebound tonight.
I tell you, Derrick Rose on that previous possession almost picked up his third foul against Eddie House. Was very fortunate to get away from that foul.
Miller spoon feeds Thomas, who snuck around Perkins and Mikey Moore. And a foul is called as Thomas chisels his way inside. And Eddie House, who is reaching in and trying to help Moore, picks up his first personal foul. 9:52 to play here in the second. And Thomas at the free throw line for the Chicago Bulls. He's got not a single point so far in his first trip to the stripe. TNT this summer. Television's most daring thieves return for a new season of heist. Nathan Ford and his team are back in TNT smash hit Leverage. Don't miss the new season premiere of Leverage this July. Only on TNT. Doug, here we are, a couple minutes into the second quarter. Chicago is trailed by 12. They've weathered the storm. They're down by 3 right now. Kind of surprising.
And I'm very impressed with the composure of Chicago. Very young team who's playing with a lot of confidence. And you know, now Derrick Rose has got to get himself back in this ball game. He's been out for a while, and he played 50 minutes in game 1. Now he's got to get himself back engaged in this game because his team now is in a very good position.
You just saw the Bulls run, and the Bulls extending their defense now, baseline to baseline. The quick trap on Pierce. Shot clock at 8. It's House to Perkins, who's picked up by Thomas. I think he had a hand on that as well. Rebounded by Miller.
Tyrus Thomas is a leaper. You better pump fake him and get your body into him. Reminds me a lot of Theo Rattler with his shot blocking. 4
blocks now for Thomas. Outside Hunter. Great fake by Marbury. Uncovered is Miller. The close. That's a 3. The close by Moore. And just like that, Chicago has taken their first lead tonight, 3 minutes into the second quarter after trailing by 12.
Well, I tell you who's giving the Bulls good minutes. Lindsey Lee Hunter, you talked about him. He has come in, and in the absence of their point guards with fouls, he's come in. He had a couple steals. That time he penetrates and kicks. But Tyrus Thomas right here, his 4th block shot of the game, goes up, gets a piece of that shot, and Brad Miller only 2 for 11 in game 1. You talked about it, stretches the floor. Chris Webber, if you're back in the studio, you saw a lot of that in Sacramento with him and Vlade Divac. Well, Chicago has fought back now with a 1-point lead, 9:06 to go in the second quarter. Kevin, these are the adjustments you make as a coach. If they're going to trap Derrick Rose, you have Brad Miller in the game, and you see he goes right to that foul line. Now look at the spacing. One side you got Salmons for a 3. The other side, Lindsey Hunter, that could be a Ben Gordon if he's in the game. And then you got Tyrus Thomas working on that baseline. Brad Miller can either shoot, and he's a very good passer. Averaged 5 assists a game out in Sacramento. He finds Tyrus Thomas, misses the shot, but gets fouled. So the Bulls have set that up that if the Celtics are going to trap, they're going to basically run almost like a zone offense. You get that ball in the middle, you got shooters, and you got a guy on the baseline.
Doc Rivers picked up a tee during our commercial break, and the fanned free throw right there by Salmons. Doug, the Bulls on a 24-11 run includes the last 11 points. Boston with 17 missed shots, 8 of which have been